In today's video, we're going to take a look at a knife I have been walking by and looking at on the shelf for quite some time at my local Home Depot of all places. I'm talking about the Milwaukee Duct Knife. We're going to see how well this thing does that regular knife stuff, and you know we got to check the balance on this one, right? That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me for another Sharp Saturday video where it's Saturday and we take a look at something sharp. And as I said, today we're going to look at this knife that, man, I've been looking at this thing, like I said, for I don't know how long, years probably. And I finally decided, you know what, I'm just going to buy one of those and see how well it does regular old knife stuff, because it's really designed for cutting duck board, like fiberglass duck board. And I've seen people using them on the job site and all that, and I've always wondered. And you know, I've always wondered how balanced this thing was. So without further ado, let's get to it. But first, a big thank you to the folks at Big Daddy Unlimited for making most of the Sharp Saturday videos possible by creating a situation where you can join Big Daddy Unlimited's membership buying club for just 99 cents for the first 30 days at survivalonpurpose.com/BDU. Get inside the membership site, see if you think it's going to save you money and make sense for you. If you do and you like it and you stick around at 10 bucks a month or 100 bucks a year, they'll throw me a couple of bucks for recommending you, so for introducing you. So if it's a win for you, it's a win for the channel, so I appreciate that. Anyway, let's take a look at this knife now. First of all, you know, here we maintain a cutting-edge, state-of-the-art knife testing facility, and we're all about the science here. So we got to do what I consider the #1 industry standard test for sharpness. We'll do the redneck sharp test, and we'll just see how well this thing works. And then we'll talk about the specs of this thing. So first we'll do the sharp test, and oh my goodness. And would you look at that? Look at that. You see all that hair there? So it passes the sharp test with flying colors. Well, and so before we do the paper test, I got to read my notes off the paper, so let's just get to that. So first of all, give you some close-ups of this thing while I'm talking to you. This is a full tang knife, and the tang, it's over-molded tang, but the tang, you can see it's all the way down here, and it's pretty wide, goes through here pretty wide. So there's a picture on the package that shows the tang, and it's mostly tang in here. It's just got a wrapped handle. It has again 5.5-inch blade, and the overall length is 10 3/4 inches. It weighs 5.6 ounces just a knife, and 7 ounces with the sheath, and it comes with this plastic sheath that basically just has a show you that. It just kind of snaps in. It's got a little belt loop, kind of like a Mora sheath, and nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. And finally, this thing is made in the country of Taiwan. Not to be confused with Republic of China, People's Republic of China. This is the country of Taiwan, which, by the way, is our ally. And it was about $20.97 at Home Depot. So there's that. Now, let's take a look real briefly at, well, no, but let me just go ahead and show you the paper cut test so I can get rid of this paper in my hand, because that's another industry standard test that so many people want to see. So first we'll try, well, actually, let me just show you this. I'm a little discombobulated, but bear with me. It has a double edge. It has a plain edge here, which we use for the redneck sharp test. And then it has a scalloped edge or a serrated edge here. So I think that's really handy for cutting duck, but it could be really handy for other stuff too. So that's kind of the best of both worlds. A lot of people don't like serrated edges. A lot of people do. Now you got both. You want to cut some rope or strapping or something like that, you got a whole edge to do it. And if you want to just use a regular fine edge, you can. Let's see how well the fine edge works on paper. Oh man. Oh! Cut it so well I dropped it. Oh, this thing is actually, wow, pretty stinking good. How about the, let's try the serrated edge. That's a little different, but I don't expect it to do well, but yeah, so it doesn't do well. Serrations are not designed for cutting paper, but that cuts the heck out of some paper really, really nicely. Ooh, okay, anyway, we're going to call that a hard pass as well. So let's take a quick look at the handle, and then we'll get down to the old stump top and get to doing some more knife stuff. So The handle is, as you can see, it's got these little grooves right here. It's got a nice little finger guard here, so you know you can keep it away from your finger. I can choke up on it here. I can get a pretty good hefty grip here. It's got a nice palm swell, a lanyard loop if you want to use that, and it's just a flat butt on it. And then the knife itself, the blade starts about 3/4 of an inch from the hilt here, and it's flat on both sides. That feels like a 90-degree spine. We'll check that out. And it's got a kind of a nice thick middle ridge in it. So and a double edge. The very tip is double edged. So there may be some place probably where this is illegal because this is a double-edged knife, but because it's a tool, you might get away with it. So that being said, let's get down to the old stump top and see how well it does some of that knife stuff. Okay, don't laugh too much. I've got at my seat here, I've got a little 2x4, 2x6 sitting under me, keep my butt from getting wet because my chair got wet. So this is definitely not a chopper, but we're gonna do a little chopping with it just to see if it'll do any of that chopping stuff. But it's really not. It's pretty lightweight. It's only 7 ounces, and most of that weight is probably in the handle more so than the blade. But let's just see. So yeah, there's no heft to really chop. So it's not a chopper. We're not gonna fool with that anymore. Let's try something else. So, not really a batoner because you're gonna jam up the backside trying to baton hit it. But we're gonna try a little something just because I'm kind of weird. So let's just see how much damage it'll do to the baton if it'll drive through there. And I'm gonna try to hit it right back here on the handle part as close as possible. So I'm chopping my baton up, but if you had to do that to get through something, it really is chopping out a baton, but you could probably do that. I'm doing this for a reason, okay? I want to get down to the inside of this wood to see if I can make some of them there feathers, curls, or whatever you want to call them. We're going to do one more baton. One more. I'm chopping the heck out of my baton, but oh well. Okay, so now there we go. There is a method to my madness. So what I want to do now is try both these blade edges, both the fine and the serrated, to see if we can do feathers, curls, or whatever you want to call them with both those. So we'll start with the fine edge. See what kind of curl, because you're not going to do any thumb push on the back of it. If you do, you're gonna slice your thumb up. But let's just see how well because this edge was really good, and the blade is light enough and the handle's hefty enough, you really don't have to choke up that much on it to get some good control. It really is controlling pretty good down through here. This wood is kind of bent. Let me see if I can turn it around. The bend is in the wrong direction to help me out. Get out of there. Give me, okay, come on. Here we go. Let's see. All right, so nice little curls there. Look at those curls. Oh yeah, finally getting some good ones. Oh yeah. I like it, man. I like it a lot, as a matter of fact. Okay, so pretty good curls there. And what's really good about it is it seems like this ridge here in the middle, this thick ridge, is almost the right angle. If you can almost kind of just rest that on the piece you're working with, and it'll give you the right angle to get some really, really thin, shallow cut curls. So that's with a straight edge, flat edge, plain edge, whatever you want to call it, the non-serrated edge. Now let's try the serrated edge. Try a different piece of wood for that one, just to see how it goes. And sometimes you can get some really good curls with serrations because they are so kind of like a little saw curls. You can see we get some tiny ones. Let's go back to this piece of wood here just briefly, since it's already smoothed off, and see what kind of, man, we should be able to get some really nice little curls. You have to really be gentle with it. I do better serrations, really, at least with this piece of wood, with the with the fine edge. Let me see over here. So I do better. I'm doing better with the fine edge because this has got a really good edge on it. So I mean, look at those little curls that are just peeling off there, man. It's a great little edge, man. I'm really impressed with the edge on this knife. I was really skeptical because it's not designed to cut wood. It's designed to cut fiberglass ductboard, but pretty good. So, you know what's next, don't you? We got to get our piece of fat wood out of storage. This thing has been in storage out here for, gosh, almost 9 years now since the channel started. Probably from 2000, at least from 2014, maybe 2013. And I just keep it in the non-climate controlled storage area here at the headquarters, and I love me some fat wood. So we're going to try a little bit of fat wood curls for here, just basic carving with the ant's not going to be happy. Get out of there, ant. Just a little with a fine edge, right? Just a few curls like that. Can you see those? Not bad. And then we'll try the serrations. See if we can get some fat wood curls with serrations. And what we're getting is a little bit of tinder kind of. What if we scrape with the serrations? That could be a trick. And you notice I'm just pulling back and forth, kind of sawing across it. Sawing across it like this, but also with the knife at an angle. So, and I'm also doing a little bit of this movement too. So I'm doing this and this at the same time, and man, look at all that fat wood goodness that's coming out of there. Wow. Let's see. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. So back in storage with you, and let's put you up there together like that. Now you know what the next thing we're going to do is, don't you? Of course you do. I got the old Exotec Fire Rod XL, and we're going to see if this thing has got some looks like some 90-degree spine stuff going on both sides here next to the handle. Let's just see. Oh yeah, watch this. Oh, just watch this. Hey, y'all, watch this. Famous last words of a redneck. Oh, baby. Had to find the right. Oop, look at that. I let it go out. How did I let it go out? No, we're not. That's not gonna work. Let's try again. All right. Famous last words of a redneck. Hey, y'all, watch this. Okay. Well, there we go. Wow. I guess there's only one thing left to do. One industry standard test left to do on this thing. Okay, so hopefully we can finish this before it gets dark, but I gotta tell you, I'm pleasantly surprised. This thing carved really, really well. It's almost like this little flat area in the middle here, almost like if I just kind of rest that on the wood and just tilt it down just a little bit, you didn't have to really worry about the angle, it just carves. And then the serration, kind of a sawing / dragging, scraping combination movement, got all kinds of little dust off the fat wood. And then I used the side on the serration here, and instead of scraping it, pulling it this way, I actually turned around like I was cutting like that against it, just with the bottom of it. All kinds of crazy sparks from a ferro rod. So absolutely a fire making machine. But as I said, we're all about the science here at Survival on Purpose, and we do maintain a cutting edge, state-of-the-art testing facility. And one of the industry standard tests I'm sure that every knife testing facility in the world does is to test the aerodynamic balance using this very high-tech balance orientation and rotation device. So we're going to do that now. And as always, scientific method is critical. Whoop, 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 whoop. A little calibration needed on that one. Let's try this. I think we're getting close. Just a couple more. Let's see. Made one more little adjustment. You ready? Let's do it. There we go. Okay, one more time. That was a little over rotate, so we're going to do it once more. This thing is sticking real good. Okay, all right, we're gonna call this thing balanced before the sun goes down. Okay, so that was a quick look at the Milwaukee $21 duck knife from Home Depot. And again, pleasantly surprised by this thing. It did everything but batoning and chopping really, really well. And even it batoned okay, but it's just gonna chew up your baton. But man, it is a fire starting machine. I really like that. I like the fact that it has a fine edge and a serrated edge here. So if you need to cut rope or cut something that, you know, serrated edge cuts a lot faster. The fine edge is great for carving, and also you could use this to do other stuff just to protect that fine edge and keep, you know, save it for the finer work. Really strong, really comfortable handle. Lifetime warranty on this thing, I forgot to tell you that. And just a really handy tool for 21 bucks. Just a usable, functional plastic sheath. Keeps this blade protected. You can clip it on your belt, throw it in your box. This would be a great truck knife, a great utility knife in your get-home bag or whatever. And if you happen to lose it, you lost 21 bucks, so it's not that big a deal. So I give this one a double thumbs up. I'm really glad I checked this out. I've been looking at it, like I said, for a long time. I finally said, I'm just gonna buy one of those and try it. Glad I did. And I hope you found this interesting and somewhat informative. I really appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.